Okay, so we're going to solve a rather difficult percent problem. We're going to use equations. Okay, we're going to use an equation to set this up. So the problem we're going to tackle here is we're going to look at 7.2 is 6 1/4% of what number? Now what makes this tough is the 6 1/4%. Alright, normally we have a whole number, we don't have a fraction within the percent. Alright, that would make it easier, but this fraction kind of presents a problem. So we're going to take this percent, we're actually going to turn it into a fraction. Okay, we feel it's the easiest way. So let's take that 6 1/4%. Alright. Now what we're going to do first, let's take that 6 1/4, 6 1/4, we're going to turn it into an improper fraction. Alright, 6 1/4, remember we take the 4 times 6 to get 24, and then we're going to add the numerator 1, so that means we're going to have 25 over 4%. Now it's still a percent, so to go from a percent to a fraction, we can do this in one quick step here, is technically we're dividing by 100, which means we're going to multiply by 1 over 100. Right? So now the 25, if you want, instead of multiplying right away, remember we can cross cancel. Alright, 25 will reduce to 1, and 100 will reduce to 4. So now we multiply, 1 times 1 gives us 1, and then 4 times 4 gives us 16. So now it's going to be much easier to work with. So the 6 1/4% we turned into is equal to 1/16. Alright, so we're going to use that when we set up our equation. Okay, now this is really, the hard part's really out of the way. Right? So now we set up our equation. And again, if you know how to read a sentence, the equation is going to follow right from it. So we're going to write 7.2. We have is, which really means equals. We just turned the 6 1/4% into 1/16. And remember, when we take a percentage of some number, we're multiplying by that number. Now we don't know what it is, so let's call it x. Okay, so we have our equation. We have 7.2 equals 1/16 times x. Okay, so now to get rid of that, okay, so we want to solve for x. So to get rid of it, technically we're going to divide by 1/16. Right. And remember, when you divide by 1/16, you're really multiplying by the reciprocal, so x is going to equal whatever 7.2 times 16 comes out to. Let's go ahead and do that work off to the side as well. Okay, so let's set it up. So we're going to do 7.2 times 16. So let's go through first. We're going to do 2 times 6 to give us 12. 7 times 6 is 42. We're going to add 1. We'll get 43. Okay. Now we come through. Let's put a 0 in the ones place here. So now we're going to do 2 times 1 give us 2. 7 times 1 gives us 7. And now when we add this up, okay, normally we would get 1,152, but remember when you're multiplying, if you have a decimal, however many decimal places you have in the two numbers you're multiplying, that's how many total you're going to have in your product. Okay, since we have one decimal place, that means we're going to have 115.2. Alright, that tells us our answer. So that means 7.2 is 6 1/4% of 115.2.